Hey everyone, and welcome to Between Two Flags, with Rosie Convoy, and you all know my co-host, Jason Benbridge. It's been a long time, eh, Jason? Couple months?
Oh yeah, it has been. It has been a while. I've been doing my stuff randomly on my own, but yeah, it's been a while. A lot of time has gone by, and but we're here. We're still here, still kicking it.
A lot of things happening, but yeah, it's I'd like to take a couple of minutes right now and just dedicate the show tonight to my dad. So
Yes,
thank you for
yes,
everyone tuned in. I appreciate you guys being here. We have two very special guests on tonight, and I'm really looking forward to chatting with them. I'm very, very, very excited to meet Monica, and of course have Karl back because he was a riot when he was here. I really appreciate him, and it's so nice to
yes,
have you again, Jason.
yes. Thank you for inviting me back. I'll go through the I guess list for tonight. We have Monica Smit. She is one of the partners involved in the event called We Are Ready. She also comes from the Reignite Freedom movement, and she's actually got arrested during the COVID lockdown for demonstrating, uh, doing a bit of a Billy Takahika thing. And we also got coming on after that. We have got Karl Barkley from one of the original members of We Are Change, and he's he's set up a program to buy back controlling shares in the Marsden Point oil refinery, the only refinery in New Zealand. So, shall we bring on Miss Monica?
Yes, of course. Without further ado, I'm very, very privileged and honored to introduce you all to Monica. Hi, Monica.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you just fine. Thank you so much for joining us on our little show.
Well, thanks. I'm actually jet setting in about 8 hours, so you caught me just in time.
Yes, you are heading over to Lisbon in Portugal, are you not?
Lisbon, Portugal, that's correct. Yes, for the epicenter of the We Are Ready event, I guess, because the Bilderberg Club are meeting there on the same weekend, and in fact, they've actually already had to change the venue, which I find quite funny, really.
Yeah, well, they've been beefing up their security over the past few years. I think last year's Bilderberg event, it was very tight on security, and normally you get a big crowd turn up at the Bilderberg event in terms of activists and protesters and all that. Like I've been following wearechange.org. Luke Radowski, I think his name is. Like he was a big proponent, very regular at the Bilderberg event. So you might run into him there. I'm not sure if he's going. He hasn't mentioned it recently, but I'm not sure if he's
Well,
going.
yeah, there's quite a few already, alternative journalists there already, so it's pretty busy. I would have gone a little bit earlier, but I had a court case just yesterday, so I had to get that sorted before I came. So which is good because I'm off bail now, so I feel a bit more free to travel the world, so that's good.
Yeah,
And of
that's right.
course, you
You
have a show too. Make a little appearance here on the Rosie on Between Two Flags here. Thank you again for being here.
It's my pleasure.
You
Um,
the court case you're talking about, just a little background. Some people might not know a little bit, but just a little tiny bit of background on it. You protested during the COVID lockdowns and
Oh,
you got
let me
arrested,
do the
right?
background because
Okay.
I can do it. I've done this a million times. Yeah, no, I was arrested for inciting people to protest. That was the criminal charge, I guess. So, and what they were doing in Victoria, especially at the time, is they were giving people bail conditions that silenced them. And so the bail conditions literally silenced me in my own home. I couldn't speak against the COVID restrictions to my family in private. So I didn't sign those bail conditions, obviously. That's why I went to prison for 22 days and waiting for the appeal of the bail conditions. And then when we appealed it, the judge agreed that they were onerous and over the top. So all of those, communistic style ones were taken away. About 4 months later, they took out a warrant to try and force me to give them password access to all my devices, that they have 2 phones in their custody, and they wanted access to Google Maps, Google Docs, Google Drive. So which they would have been like my entire databases of people with addresses and phone numbers and all the emails that people have privately sent me. So there's no way in good conscience I could give them that. But by not complying with that warrant, I did risk going back to prison for 3 months for breaching bail, plus a new criminal offence, which is actually worse than incitement. Anyway, a week after I refused to give them the data, they withdrew the charges. So it seems like that was a intimidation tactic that thankfully in that scenario I won. But yeah, so just 2 days, yesterday, all that was left on the charge sheet, which was originally 5 charges, all that was left was 2 COVID fines, for leaving my house, basically. And yeah, I got the best result I could possibly have gotten, which is I'm guilty of breaking the COVID restrictions. Obviously, I told them I was guilty of it, and I told them I'd do it again. But there was the prosecutor wanted me to have a criminal record. Like I wouldn't be able to work with children, for example. And the judge was like, why would you do that to a woman like her? She's not a criminal. She just broke the COVID restrictions. So actually, it was the best result that I could have possibly had. A magistrate is not going to argue the validity of the COVID restrictions, which is what I was trying to do. But she's like, this isn't the place for that. And so obviously I'm going to go back after them. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think that a lot of these charges are sticking because they're like the courts now are turning around all of the fines and all that, and because they were unlawful in the first place. And of course now there's a lot of evidence that they were completely a waste of time. But I think for a lot of the people like yourself, I mean, it was just a way to tie you down and strap your cash and just keep you under the thumb, really. They knew they were probably going to
punishment by
lose.
process. Punishment by process. It's a thing they do. They just want to waste your energy, but luckily I've got a bit of energy. So
I think a lot of that was going on in Canada too, wasn't it, Rosie?
Yeah, we still have 4 guys from the Coots blockade. They've been in jail for over a year now without any kind of bail, nothing. And actually there was another gentleman that was suddenly charged out of the blue. That was part of the original convoy to Ottawa. Just out of the blue, suddenly he was charged with all these charges, and so yeah, he's about to have to go through the entire process too. But yeah, the 4 Coots guys, it's quite unforgivable what they're putting them through. Like they haven't been able, their family members can't even go visit them, and they're being charged with conspiracy to murder police officers, and yet they have 0 criminal record whatsoever, and there's no evidence to tie them to it. And yeah, it's a sad here in Canada.
That's from the convoy?
From the guys that went to southern Alberta, the Coots blockade. There's 4 guys that have still been in jail. They've been in jail for over a year now, basically since the end of, since they shut it down there because of now economic violence is a thing. So they changed the definition of violence to include like economic. So that's kind of how they crack down even more now. They just keep pushing back the goalpost, and the corruption is just absolutely infuriating. So my heart goes.
The world's not really hearing about that though. Just so that you know, I haven't heard about that. And I mean, I spent 22 days in jail. Big deal. A year sounds. That story needs to get out more.
It's if you go to Alberta Political Prisoners on Facebook, there's a group there, and there's a few people that have been fighting, and they just keep sharing it, and they're trying to raise awareness, and they're being met with a lot of backlash where people are saying, well, they conspired to murder police officers, so they deserve to rot in jail. But that was just a trumped up charge, and there's even a police officer that was recorded talking about how it wasn't real. So
okay.
But they're just keeping them in there as an example to others. So yeah, Alberta Political Prisoners on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm a member of that link. I'll send you that link there, Monica. I'm a member of that group. I keep in tabs with it. Wow, that's really amazing. Yeah, same situation here. Now, this weekend there is a big major event going on around the world. there's a little picture graphic there. I gave you a little bit earlier there, Rosie. You want to bring that up for just a sec?
Of course,
It's a little bit outdated, this one. The
I am.
We Are Ready graphic.
There's a new one.
Is there?
It's like just being posted everywhere, I think.
Okay,
But
Yeah.
this is,
oh, that is an old one.
yeah, it's 153 locations. But now, what are the number of locations now?
191.
Oh wow.
Woo!
Oh, that is thrilling. Yeah, we need to update that. I'm very proud to say my hometown here is going to be is registered.
Which one?
In Kelowna, British Columbia. I'm in Western
Awesome.
Canada right now. So my
so
hometown is registered. So I will be there on Saturday.
Canada is definitely overrepresented. Canada, America, is and Australia. I mean, and the UK. I guess okay. There's definitely some gaps in South Africa and in Asia, but otherwise it's pretty full.
So you said 191 locations now?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That makes me
that's amazing, the turnout.
I am.
Yes, I'm blown away as well.
I'm looking forward to being a part of it, and you actually get to go to Lisbon in Portugal and see it right up close. You'll be a front line, so good for you. I'm proud of you. Very proud of you.
Thanks. I look, we've all been through a lot, so there's no point comparing anything like that. But it will be nice to get out of Australia and I don't know, just meet more people around the world doing the same thing, and just I don't know. Obviously, it's been a prison here for us for a while, and a lot of trauma. Just everywhere you look, it's like, oh, there I was shot at, there I was chased, this is where that happened. So change is as good as a holiday. And just while I've got the microphone, I will say that while I'm in Europe, my mission is I'm actually going to be there for about 5 months. So my mission is to leave trails of connections behind me. And what that looks like is Reignite Freedom has a global database, and we can section it down to cities or states. And so I'll just hold little community events, maybe 20, 30 people will show up. Then they can exchange, they can create an email database just for the 30 of them, or a Signal chat or a Telegram chat or whatever. And then I'll move on. So I think that connections, I don't know if we totally understand the importance of these community groups right now. It's when the things hit the fan again and crisis hits, that's when we're going to understand the importance. Because in my humble opinion, I'm not an expert, but makes sense that we're going to be able to withstand tyranny and intimidation a lot better if we have people around us, like maybe 6 more months or 12 more months, because we'll have resources and we'll have people to say, no, you can do it, you can do it. When you're alone, you're so easily brainwashed and manipulated. And look, everything they did during lockdowns was to keep us apart. So people are like, oh, community groups are, oh, big deal. What are you going to do? You're going to go for a walk in the park and have a coffee, and oh, who cares? But guess what? The globalists bloody hate it. They hate it when we make friends with each other, because it's actually very threatening to their mastermind plan. So that's my mission in Europe. So if you are in Europe and you're listening, just know that I will be coming to a city near you, and I'll be hoping to get free accommodation in people's lounge rooms as much as possible, and just like delve right into the European freedom movement and just connect as many people as I can.
That's wonderful. That's something I am proud to say here in Canada, because it's such a big country. You automatically feel alone, because takes like 6-7 days to drive across. Just going across Ontario, one province, it takes 2 days driving. So all these little towns, they have been networking. They have been keeping in touch with each other and then growing from there. So it really is a thorn in Trudeau's side to know that we're not stopping, and it is the networking, it is the getting together in small groups that will make all the difference in the world. Because
I think so.
Strong.
We weren't ready. We weren't ready when the COVID happened, right? But because of COVID, we've been able to prepare. So if there was another crisis similar to that, I'm actually, I don't want to say I'm excited for it, but I'm excited to see the fruits of the labor that has been put in place, and how different it's going to be next time around. We learnt that if we had all said no at the same time, the mandates wouldn't have been successful. We've learnt that. And even people in our movement took it because they needed to do X, Y, or Z. But they know now that if they had said no, we wouldn't have been in the position. So next time around, we're going to have another chance at saying no together.
Yeah, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
That's correct.
Yeah, that was George Bush, that one. Yeah, and it's somewhat of a renaissance as well, because, this is the stuff that's going on at the moment is kind of the symbolism of they think they're building a new empire, but when you look at history, it's actually a collapse of an empire. And you look at the Romans, for example, after they collapsed, a lot of the small groups and small community nations and all that, they got back their territories. They took advantage of the corruption. Actually, they took advantage of the corruption. They took advantage of the decadence. They took advantage of the fact that these people couldn't coordinate with each other, and they took back their sovereign territories, and that led to the Renaissance. So that's an interesting historical fact, because I think this is very historical. You go back, I'm a history buff. You go back and look at this, you can see, although the technology has changed, you can see the moves again and again and again. And of course, the areas, that expand. It's like a heart. The history is like a heart, and territory is like a heart, and they expand and they retract and they expand and retract. And people are fighting for power. And we're in a very small part of history. We're in a very small grain of rice in history.
Yeah, well,
but it's
yeah,
pretty significant.
And I will say that there's more to the We Are Ready event than just, an actual event on the day. It's the messaging behind it. I have been in situations since the messaging was released where I've found actually a lot of comfort in that sentence, "We are ready." And I obviously make it personal and I say, "I am ready." So when I'm feeling stressed about the court case or whatever, I'm just like, "I'm ready. It's okay." Like, what is the worst thing that they can do to me? Like in World War II, people were starved, and it was a lot worse than what we've been through. Less psychological and more physical, of course. But so really, what we have to deal with now is nothing compared to our ancestors. So really, we are ready, actually. And if we can believe it, even if we have to fake it at the beginning to believe that messaging, but if we truly do believe it at some point, then the fear is going to go away. And instead of trawling online and checking all the, "Oh, look what they've done there. Oh, look what they've done there," you're just gonna be like, whatever. When it happens, it happens. I'm ready. It doesn't matter. And so I feel like if that messaging can somehow get into our subliminal messaging as a broader freedom community, I think it could be really powerful. It's impossible to measure, but I think it's empowering.
You've said the words that I've really needed to hear lately, because it just feels like the war is coming at us from all fronts, and you don't everywhere you turn, you're just being bombarded with this and that, and that's exactly what I've been doing, is I've been seeing the problems instead of just telling myself that I'm ready for them. So I'm going to take that, Monica, and I'm going to etch it on my heart, and I'm going to use it. It's going to be my battle cry.
You can reuse it any way you like. It's obviously it's 3 words put together, but I'm glad.
Yeah, even for myself here in Asia, they're not actually going for it. Vietnam and the country next to me, Cambodia, they're not going for this stuff. They are loosely aligned with the globalists, but when it came to the fuel crisis and all that, they didn't go with it. They're keeping the economy nice and sound, and they're keeping the farming nice and sound. They're increasing their efforts into global trade, and but of course it's a false sense of security for me. So, watching what's going around the world, I've actually got myself ready. Like, we've moved into a larger property, we've started farming, we've got a little fish pool now, just in case something hits the fan and we need access to food. You got to prepare yourself for something. So you can eat all your fresh vegetables. You can grow your own, and even fish. You don't have to have a cow if you don't like killing cows. No problem. Plenty of fish. I like fish. That's the way to be ready as well.
Yeah, or know someone who's ready, because not everyone has the I do not have a green thumb in any way, shape, or form. I just really hope that I am around someone who does when things hit the fan. So I just have to pray and hope for that. Because otherwise, if I'm looking for myself, I work too hard. I don't prepare for anything. So but mentally I'm prepared. That's all. I consider, like, maybe we'll have to go into the bush, and I have a van. I live in a van, actually. It's a nice van, but I'm a van lifer, and so it's got solar and stuff, and so I'm just thinking I'll just jump in my van and just go bush, and probably meet some people who are doing the same thing and figure it out.
I was living out of my Jeep for the last year, more or less out of my Jeep. So, no, that's fantastic. Nice to meet a fellow adventurer gypsy type.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a luxurious gypsy, though. I've got a shower in there and everything, so I can't really compare the same, but sure.
Well,
yeah, you really
doing the glamping.
Yeah, Rosie, you really sort of gave up your luxurious life and your cushy job, and you woke up and then you joined the convoy, and you really went for half a lever for a good over a year now. You've only just really settled down, so it's been 1 year and 3 months or so since you've been on the road.
It was a year in mid-April that I left home, and just got back home for a couple of weeks. So, and then my father passed away this afternoon. So, he was a truck driver. I joined the convoy for him to begin with, and he loved to watch this show. I guess he didn't. He's 87, so he didn't understand it wasn't FaceTiming. So my mom said he used to wave at the phone when me and Jason were doing our show, because he thought I could see him. So Dad, if you're watching,
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. Yeah. Wonderful. Now, have any sign of Mr. Barkley in the background there before I just go on to?
Nope, he's not here yet, so you'll have to send him a message.
Well, that's okay. So I just want to find out a bit more about Lisbon. What have you got planned? Like, you got speakers and all that? What's the plan for Lisbon?
To be honest, I have nothing to do with the organising, so I'm just turning up, and I just hope it's organised. It looks like it is really well organised. There's even a video from Robert Kennedy Jr. to play for the event itself, which is pretty special. Obviously, it'd be better for him to be there in person, but he is running for president, and he's pretty busy doing that right now, and that's pretty exciting, I think. But there's a new poster out for Lisbon, and it's on the website, and it's got pictures of people's faces. So I don't know a lot of them, but yeah,
all right.
I think it's going to be big. It's my birthday on the 19th too, so I'm arriving, and there's a little dinner planned with a birthday. So it'll be good.
Well, happy early birthday.
Oh, thanks. 35.
Big old Canadian Victoria.
Yeah, thanks. I
will
almost
be
get
running
2 birthdays, actually, because when you fly, you gain a day. So I'm almost getting a little bit extra than 1 birthday in the plane.
It looks like we have in the background now, but he doesn't have his camera on. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes while we wrap up here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's there?
Well, he is, but his camera looks like it's got the X through it. So his camera is not.
He often doesn't use the camera that often.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we won't hold you up on. We know you're a busy lady, Monica. Just a reminder to people from the State of the Nation pages and all the other pages and groups and Rosie Convoy groups that we have and so on, that I will be doing some live streaming from different events around the world. If you've registered, then you would have got an email from Monica, and I've already started scheduling people in already. Saturday's looking fairly busy. I'm doing them in half-hour increments. So if you haven't checked your email from Monica after you've registered, check it.
You mean from the team, right?
From the team. Yeah, the team that's arranging the background work and that. If you haven't received check your email anyway. And if you want to get on for 15-20 minutes and talk to the world about what you're doing, we welcome you onto our live stream. I'm going to be doing probably Ooh, probably about 12 to 14 hours the first day, and then depending on, because it's laying over 2 days, we've got the American time, which is a day and a half behind, or a
You
day
got this.
behind. Yeah.
You are ready.
So we'll
We
see
are
what
ready.
happens.
And can I say as well that there will be an option, I believe, I've been told that there's going to be an option on the website to submit a video or photo or even some text about your experience at the event. So afterwards, make sure you send the team that stuff, because then they can maybe make some nice videos, like by mushing all the cool stuff together. And I will say that from what I understand, it was supposed to be a once-off event, but it's been far too successful to be once off. So you know, you've got the worldwide demonstration group as well, and it unfortunately ended up being on the same date. It was basically an accident, but I believe the We Are Ready website has quite a few of the worldwide demonstration posters on there as well. But obviously moving forward, they will collaborate better next time. Obviously We Are Ready was based on the Bilderberg Club meeting, so the date was inflexible, but next time it can be. And it seems that this is becoming a community group event, not a rally necessarily. Some of them will be rallies, but a lot of them, like one of them, you even have to hike an hour to get to. I just think that's hilarious. I love it. You know, like if one person goes, that is a friendship that will probably be there forever. And so I believe the We Are Ready events will continue in some capacity. So yeah, make sure you check the website, do all that. And yeah, the team was not prepared for it to be this successful. So there's a bit of clunkiness when it comes to people not being able to get in touch with organisers to work with them and stuff like that. It's just is what it is. Everyone's doing the best they can, but it's going to be great. So who cares?
Yep. Just press go and start.
More and more. Just keep flexing that muscle. You'll get there. Yeah. And just remember, it's not a protest. This is a unity event. We're just showing
we're
up.
done with protests.
Yeah,
protesting feels a bit like begging.
We're over with it.
It looks a bit beggy. I'm done begging.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, you're not listening. I know you're not going to listen, so we're just going to do what we want, and who cares? So yeah. Right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the opportunity, and you know, we'll definitely share these links around, you know, for the live stream so that people can watch them.
For sure. Awesome. And Jason will send you the link for the Alberta Political Prisoners Group.
Yes.
And kind of check
awesome.
That out, see what's happening.
And God rest your father's soul. Sorry about what happened, but I hope he's in a better place. I mean, this world is pretty stuffed up right now, so he's probably happier now. So yeah, God bless him.
Thank you so much, Monica, and safe travels to you. And hug as many people as you can from me from Canada.
Oh, I'm going to have sore arms and a sore face from smiling and hugging so much. So I'll do that. See you guys.
Thank you so much, Monica.
Thank you.
The best. Okay, we have Karl. I'm going to bring Karl. He says he's blocked from our end, but Karl, I think it is because you have to enable your camera or some kind of camera. He messaged and he said that he's blocked on my end, but I'm going to try to bring him up anyway. No, it says, yeah, Karl, you have to bring up some kind of a video, even if you just hold a screen up or something in front of your camera. That's it's happened before on the show, and that's what it was. Because you just if you could enable the camera, even if you put a piece of tape or something, that would make it easier. So did you want to queue up the video of Karl then, while we kind of wait for him to even put up an avatar or something, Jason?
Well, while we're waiting for him to sort out his camera, I think what it is, if he's still listening, I guess he's probably still listening. I think what it is, like when you come into the back room here with when you go into the backstage area, you get the option to check your camera and check your microphone, and you got to make sure that they're both checked. Yeah. And if that doesn't work, I'm not sure. Sure.
Right, he's backstage. Oh, and then he's gone again. You did something, Karl. There. Okay, I'm gonna bring you up. There you go.
Just bring him up without the camera. That's okay.
Okay.
We'll take a look at his little pictures.
Oh, I have to bring it in. Hang on.
I'm in the main street of Takaka on Golden Bay.
Good afternoon, Carl. You're in Takika?
Takaka, that's right. Yep, Golden Bay.
Golden Bay. Where is that?
Top of the South Island. Farewell
Top of the
Spit.
South. How long have you been in the South Island?
Oh, 2 months now. On my campaign.
Okay, yeah, because you were in Motueka the other day.
Yeah, I was at Motueka the other night. Yep. I drove straight over here.
Okay, now. Sorry, mate. Go ahead.
Carry on.
Flag. Okay, so we want to get into it. That we now. You've been on the road now. So you've been on the South Island for 2 months. When did you actually kick this thing off?
April Fool's Day.
Good day for it.
What April Fool's Day? You say, why April Fool's Day, Carl? The reason April Fool's Day is the day that New Zealand Refining Company changed its name to Channel Infrastructure, and as of that day they stopped refining fuel. Well, they actually carried on for another month, probably finishing off what crude oil they had and getting it to the point where it was just finished product on site. And then the following month they did their deep clean, which they would normally do prior to doing any maintenance, and then they should have gone into maintenance or put it into mothball if they didn't want to carry on. But none of that happened. They just laid off the operators on the 30th of May, and that was the end of it. Then they started destroying the place.
Thank you so much for coming back, Carl. It's been a long time since I've seen you. I do remember when you were in last. So I understand that it's not. You're still with Operation Good Oil, but now you've changed it. You've upgraded.
Yeah, I'm still with Operation Good Oil, but I'm the face of Operation Good Oil, and I've come up with a brilliant campaign. When I was with Operation Good Oil, I'd bought a parcel of shares over a period of a few months. I aimed to buy 100 shares, and then when I was protesting out the gate, they couldn't say I was just a protester. I was actually an owner of it, a shareholder. So that's where I started from. And then Sherry's, the company I bought the shares through, sent me a link, and they said if you get people to join up, you get a $5 credit, and they get a $5 credit. So I've been pushing that idea, and I've been reinvesting my $5 back into the campaign or into the shares. And then a couple of weeks ago, there was the first annual shareholders meeting for Channel Infrastructure, and they sent me a link, and it said that didn't matter how small a shareholding you had, didn't matter if you had a small parcel or large, you all had a vote. So virtually overnight, I discovered that if I can find 100,000 shareholders only buying $20 worth of shares at this stage, we can take control of this thing and have a call for a special meeting and vote the board and senior management out of the place, put people in there that want to reinstate the refinery and get it operating again. So I've set myself a target of the 30th of May this year, which will be 12 months on since it closed, and the 59th anniversary of it opening. We will hit them with 100,000 new shareholders and call a special meeting. I told the guys at the closing last year, within 2 years we'll have this thing operating again. They said, "Oh no, no chance." So,
well, I think it's a brilliant idea. I mean, the whole idea of it, and the shares are actually not that expensive. They're anywhere between $1.44 or $1.84. I'm not sure which one was correct.
The other day when I checked, they were $1.48, and when I bought them originally in June, they were $1.05. So they're going up and down. The highest they've been since I bought them was $1.58, I think. About 3 weeks ago, they were really high, and then they came back down a wee bit. But they got down to about $1.40. Now they've gone up to about 48. So they're up and down. But it's not about the money and making money out of it, which you will if you've got shares in it. It's about getting a big group of people that have got the same views and who want to get this thing back in the hands of Kiwis. Yeah. And the other day, the people at my meeting said, "Oh, you need to get a bit more information for us, Carl. How many shareholders there are and all that." and somebody put it up, and it showed that we had 53% public shareholding already. So it's without even my campaign really hitting it off yet.
53% is quite a lot. That's a majority. That's a majority control already.
Yep. We just got to engage those people in some sort of campaign to take it back.
Yeah, that's quite encouraging, actually. So,
well, if I find 20 or 20, if I find another 20 or 25%, we'll be over 75% control.
Yeah, that's very positive. So I'm just reading. I'm just reading the information from. This is a sticker, looks like. So it's a buyback control of Marsden Point, New Zealand's only oil refinery. We are encouraging Kiwis to buy 100+ shares in Channel infrastructure. And there's your website, https://sharesies.com.r.bq. Now, this Sharesies website, what is that? It sounds like it's a sort of an aggregate for it. It sounds like one of those investment apps or something like that, you know?
Yeah, it's set up in New Zealand by a group of people that wanted to try and help small investors get into the share market. Mum and dad investors that want to have a little dabble. But when I looked at buying shares in Marsden Point ages ago, I went to a couple of the share brokers like Craig and Partners or whatever they are, and they said, for us to manage your shares, you need to buy $5,000 because we take $70 annual fee out. So you had to have quite a substantial parcel of shares to get some return so they could take their money out of it. Whereas the Sharesies thing charge you a really minimal amount times your like I keep reinvesting, so I'm putting $25 or whatever people the credits I'm getting, I just keep putting them back in. But it's very minimal amount they're taking, like a couple of cents, maybe $1 transaction. I think up to $25. I think the maximum they take. So,
is there a link, Jason, that we could share in the chat? There's a request.
Yeah, there is. I can do that right now.
Yeah, somebody wants to get on it.
So it's quite critical, people, if they want to join, and I know they've joined, is to use the HPTTS thing that you just said before, and we'll put that up shortly, just as that only and nothing else. Don't register with Sharesies, because then you miss out on being part of that, and you have to join just Channel yourself, which is not a problem. I don't mind, but I'm trying to keep track of everybody that joined. And when you do join, email me that you've joined or text me that you've joined with your details, and then we'll put you into a database. And once we start growing some numbers, I'm pretty sure I'm well over 100 people now. I'm going to sort that out the next day or two and put that up. If those 100 people find another 10, we've got 1,000 people. What I'm aiming for is if I can find 1,000 myself, and they find 10, that's 10,000. They find 10, that's 100,000. Just overnight, we've got it. We've cracked it. And as Sir Edmund Hillary would say, we've knocked the bastard off. He's the man that climbed Everest, in case you didn't know there.
Rosie.
I didn't know that. I learned something else new today.
Sir Edmund Hillary was a beekeeper from down Canterbury, and when he climbed Mount Everest with Tenzing, the Sherpa, he said, "We've knocked the bastard off."
Okay.
Yeah, that's his famous word.
What was his name again? Because I'm gonna try to.
So Edmund Hillary.
Edmund
Hillary.
Okay. Edmund Hillary.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's pretty famous for a New Zealand fella. Yeah, it's the first.
He went on from there to look after the people from. It must be Chile. Is
Tibet?
It Chile? Tibet. Sorry, yeah. In the Himalayas, the Himalayan people, because they looked after him. Him and his wife went back many times and set up hospitals and schools for them, and then his son Peter carried the trust on.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's a bit of a legend. He's a bit of a legend in Tibet. Like, if you ever mention the word New Zealand, they
Yeah,
automatically know. Oh, it's Edmund Hillary. Oh
yeah,
yes, we know all about you. We have a very good relationship with New Zealand. They love New Zealand. The
yeah,
Tibetans. I know quite a few of them online.
yeah.
What if that
He's almost like a god to them. They worship the land he walks on.
the
Not,
mountain he climbs on?
yeah, yeah, yeah. If it
Now,
wasn't for Tenzing and the other Sherpas, Sir Edmund would never have got to the top.
no,
That's
he wouldn't have.
I met him recently, well, not recently, but several years ago down Southland at the Vintage Machinery Crank Up down here. He was our guest speaker. He's in his late 80s. He was very frail, but he still spoke well. And we had Colin Meads here as well, Old Pine Tree. So between the two of them, we had a good evening the Saturday night when we had our little function.
That's amazing. What a legacy.
Yeah. And he's on our $5 note, I think it is. I haven't got one in my pocket at the moment, but that's
Okay.
Yeah, he's been on. He's been on some. I haven't seen any New Zealand money for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be on. He should be on one of them. One of the notes
pretty
there.
sure, I'm pretty sure it's the $5 one. Because everybody has a $5 note in their pocket. If it was $100 note, not many people would see it. If you get my drift.
Can I go over this again? So I've just dropped the link, the sharesies.com link. So people they can buy them there, and then they should email you.
Yeah, email me or text me and let me know they've done it. Give me their name, because Sharesies every now and again tell me somebody's joined through the thing, and I just get a first name. I don't get a surname. So if they send me their whole name, I can then and their contact details, I can add them to our database.
Got it. Okay. So I'll pop that.
So but you've got to go to the https /sharesies.com/small r/capital B capital Q 9 capital Q capital B6. If you go on that link, it works straight away. Other people are going Sharesies, and then they say, "Oh, it's not working." I said, "Well, go back and read what I said."
Yeah.
Follow the instruction.
That's right. Yeah, I've taken a look at it. And you follow that link specifically.
Yeah,
and then it asks you to provide either an Australian passport or a New Zealand passport, and then it takes you through the motions.
Yeah, the reason they want all those securities is because they're handling your money, and they want to know that the person they're going to give the money back to is you, not somebody else. So.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they call on boarding.
No Canadians allowed to invest.
But from what I understand now is somebody that puts in as little as $20 is going to get a voice in it. And if you go on this link, they're going to get the first $5, so it's only costing you $15.
.co.nz. Okay, I'm just typing that in. Awesome. And where are you off to in the next couple of weeks? Are you heading further south, or are you heading up?
No, I'm heading back to North Island. By the 30th of May, I'm going to be back in Whangarei. I've organised a meeting there. I'm going up to Collingwood tonight. There's a meeting up there, which is an impromptu one that they've invited me to. It's at the Mad Cafe at Collingwood. So it's going to be a lot of alternative lifestyle awake people up there that still realise we need fuel. And then I'm heading back over to Motueka. There's supposed to be something with Voices for Freedom with signage on the road tomorrow. I've just been done. Takia's got people standing every Wednesday at lunchtime on the corner down by the Telegraph Hotel, or what's the other thing called? Roots Bar, which is roots of trees. Every Wednesday, because during COVID lockdown, they always had people there as a safe place for people to go if they were concerned about what was going on, and they've carried that on. Every Wednesday they hold that public meeting there with signs. So if anything goes wrong again, people know that there's people in this village that can help them. A good community.
Yeah, we were just talking about that with Monica Smit, the We Are Ready campaign people.
Yeah.
just having that community there is really, really super important. And
Wow. They were talking about that. So she's at the because I've got on my van reignite freedom.com, which was part of that originally.
yeah, that's right. Reignite Freedom. That's right. Yeah, that's how we sort of got started, and then it got into the global walkout, and now it's We Are Ready. So
Okay.
technically, We Are Ready is a part of the global walkout. Technically speaking,
Yep.
We Are
And
Ready is kind of like.
And Buying Back Marsden Point is part of that because we'll own it and we'll be ready.
Yeah, definitely, you'll be ready. Yeah, and people can buy your T-shirts as well.
Yeah, the T-shirts are I'm doing them for $35 unless you're 2XL, and then they're $45. The little bumper stickers are $5 or 5 for $20, and my larger stickers are $25 or 2 for $40.
Awesome. Yeah.
I would love to put one of those stickers on my Jeep. So
Well, just download it and get one photocopied and laminate it and stick it on. That's what I do.
All right.
Before my stickers turn up. Otherwise, I can post you one, but it'll cost a fortune and probably get lost in the post.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just showing that sticker there.
Yeah. Oh, that would look great on my Jeep. It'd really stand out against the dark green. But
yeah.
But
the reason I went green was because even though Marsden Point is an oil refinery, it's actually it's eco-friendly. The guys that have been running this thing for the last 20, 30 years, they've made it as eco-friendly as they possibly can. And what's better than be making crude oil in New Zealand into fuel and byproducts like bitumen, and CO2 was coming out of the stack, and the sulfur was being taken out of the fuel, which has been used for farming. But without sulfur, you can't make ammunition to protect yourself if you need to have a war. So they've taken off our we haven't got that available. So it's just another angle I'm looking at. Excuse me while I burp. So we had 35 crude tankers coming here a year and 2 coastal tankers carting the fuel around and making all these byproducts, 120,000 tonne of bitumen. Now we've got over 175, maybe 200 fuel tankers coming from 7 Asian refineries, and we've got contamination coming in. We've had 3 shipments of aviation fuel contaminated already. If they're contaminated, everything else is contaminated. And I have heard it, but unofficially, from somebody in the industry, that at Marsden Point, they pump the fuel through off the ships, through the pipeline, the 10-inch pipeline to Wherry, which is the Auckland terminal. This pipeline's 250 mil or 10-inch pipe. Twice a week from 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock, they're not allowed to load any fuel out of the terminal. Nobody's allowed on site while they change these huge big filters. And that's twice a week they're doing that. And it's been happening ever since the refinery was shut and this fuel's been imported. That never used to happen when Marsden Point was operating the refinery. So there's something wrong with the imported fuel.
Yeah,
it's
and
not
only that, they've increased the carbon footprint. I mean, 35 to 175, that's a massive increase in carbon footprint.
Well, we haven't done a final count up because I stopped about 2 months ago following the tankers. So we possibly have 200 tankers a year coming here now. Plus we've got a whole lot of tankers bringing their 120,000 tonne of bitumen here. Plus we've got container ships having to bring 200 20-tonne compressed CO2 containers to New Zealand. And I just heard now that there's somebody in New Zealand using dry ice, I think it is. That's not even being made in New Zealand now. They're bringing that in bulk. So dry ice, which is, I don't know, what's dry ice, but is it a gas or is that like a lump of ice that's dry ice? I don't know. But that's having to be imported as well. Plus the sulfur, plus the bitumen. It's just the carbon footprint is a hell of a big elephant. There's a whole tribe of elephants running around our country now from the footprint from this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's because the whole thing's a scam at the end of the day. That's all.
Oh, well, me and
Shift.
when me and Dave were following the tankers, I said, Dave, we've got some issues here. We're running short on tankers because at one stage we got down to about 2 a week, and I said,
Yeah.
this is just in time fuel, and then I said, oh, it's sometimes Justin's not going to turn up.
Yeah, he's
But-
not going to turn up sometime. Yep.
Yeah, Justin's not going to turn up. But I heard this morning from somebody on the Antarctica here. He said that they run out of fuel in Southland recently, and I've heard that from somebody else, but I hadn't heard this side of it. He said they carted fuel from Nelson down to Southland by road transport. That's from one end of the country to the other in the South Island.
That's a complete waste of time.
It's like 1,000 or something, 800
It's so inefficient. It's so and it's inefficient and unproductive. I mean, you can fit it all on a boat. that would make a lot more sense. I mean, geez, Louise. Well, that's the logic of the New Zealand government, and since whenever.
I've been talking to somebody else in the oil industry, and they said that the shortage of fuel hasn't just happened since Marsden Point closed down. There has been shortages prior to that. So they've been running the system wrong for a long time to try and make it uneconomical. Like taking the bitumen part of it away from the refinery 2.5 years ago was an uneconomical move. It was designed to take some of the equity out of the business.
Yeah.
What they could have done with their price was doubled their price. Even because they're supplying high quality product, they could have doubled their New Zealand price and still been a third cheaper than the overseas imported stuff, which is falling apart, which is total crap.
Yeah, it's madness. I mean, here they use low quality bitumen here in Vietnam, and the potholes everywhere. But the same thing's happening in the US now. Exactly the same thing is happening in the US now. There are complaints now coming up that they're spending their time. They put the roadwork signs up, and they strip them, but they don't go and redo them.
Yeah, well, what it's all about is slowing everybody down. They don't want you driving a car, and then they're trying to make businesses uneconomical because it's taking so long to get their goods or go and do their job because they're stuck in traffic jams. It's all designed to drive the world's economy down. And the latest I found out, because I went looking for the BTUs of burning coal in comparison to wood, because that's another issue I'm looking at. I'm an engineer with boiler tickets, and I'm thinking, why are we getting away from coal? How bad is coal compared to wood? Because they're both producing carbon, because they're both from carbon. And I discovered some documents stating that coal is actually less environmentally dangerous than burning wood, because you have to burn a lot more wood. You end up with a bigger carbon footprint because you're extracting all this timber out of the forest, and you got all these Merv Solly said today it's 5 times more wood chip or wood pellets compared to a ton of coal to get the same amount of heat. And you don't actually get the same amount of heat because coal gives you 27 million BTUs per ton, and all wood gives you is 14 million BTUs.
Yeah, we love it here in Asia. It's used all the time. Barbecue buffets are very popular here. Barbecue buffets.
And what do they use? Wood charcoal?
Charcoal, yeah.
They prefer, because it's superior when you barbecue to use the charcoal.
Yeah, but it's when it burns, it's still making carbon.
Yeah.
Still making carbon in the atmosphere, but they just say, oh, but it's not coal carbon.
Yeah.
Coal carbon's dangerous. It can kill you. Bullshit.
Mm-mm-mm.
Do you know how much carbon comes out of your lungs? Do you know how much carbon comes out of your lungs?
Yeah, plenty.
You see those people walking around wearing a mask and it says N95?
Oh, yeah.
95 times more CO2 comes out of your lungs than what's in the atmosphere. It goes from 0.04%, which is 400 parts per million, multiply it by 95, it's 38,000 parts per million in every breath you breathe. You breathe 12 or 20 times a minute. If you're wearing one of those stupid face masks and hold 5,000 parts per million of that breath against your face, which should have been expelled, you end up starving your brain and organs of good oxygen because you're breathing in all that dirty CO2. It's just a no-brainer. That's why people are getting crook from wearing masks.
Yeah, I have to spend all my time explaining this to my students. Like a majority of them have eased off now. Like probably there's a little over 60%, 70% who are not using them anymore. But I don't know, about a month ago, I think they were trying to the WHO was trying to re-kick off the WHO, and so they just did a surface statement that, oh, COVID is coming back, please wear your mask in public. But most people didn't buy into it. But you still got some hypochondriac type people, paranoid people, who are forcing their kids to wear the mask in the class, and of course I have to teach them. And I have to spend a lot of my time explaining to them that you're not a tree. You don't breathe carbon. You breathe oxygen. You're not a tree. You're a human.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the trees breathe the carbon in through photosynthesis to give us oxygen. They breathe out oxygen. So they're making out oxygen. The CO2 that's at 400 parts per million in the atmosphere, and it can be more than that, but when you're breathing it in, you're breathing it in with oxygen and nitrogen, so it's got its right balance. What happens with that tiny wee bit of CO2 when you breathe it in through your lungs is it goes to your heart, and your heart says, "Oh, there's more CO2 than oxygen. I need more oxygen in my body." So it starts pumping blood around your body, which has got oxygen from your lungs, and that's all the CO2 is, to stimulate your heart to start pumping.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And we can thank Maury Strong for this whole climate change hoax.
Who's
Maury
she?
Strong. Everybody, look it up. Maury Strong. They call him the man without a country. He goes all the way back to Deng Xiaoping from the communist China. He's reportedly the love child of Deng Xiaoping and a CIA asset. And he calls her the woman, he calls her auntie, but we suspect that because Maurice Strong and Deng Xiaoping are spitting image of each other, that it was actually his mother. And there's a documentary called The Climate Change Hoax. And and when I was watching that, he was in Beijing teaching corporations how to get through the carbon point scam. You know, they teaching them how you can trade carbon points to bigger corporations that need more. If you're a smaller corporation, you can sell your points so they can legally pollute. It's got nothing to do with environmental issues.
The thing is, we've got all these good farmland in New Zealand, thousands of hectares of good farmland. They want to plant it in carbon credit pine trees to mitigate. Hello, you're sucking the carbon out of the atmosphere in New Zealand to mitigate a problem that's on the other side of the world. We're not taking your carbon; we're using up our carbon that we need to survive on.
That's right. Yeah, and New Zealand is definitely no threat to the world at all. Not at all. No threat to the world at all. And it's all a big gaslight. It's all a big gaslight.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yep. Burning coal, using, and they talk about oil as being fossil fuel. I had this argument with a scientist yesterday, or a couple of days ago. I need to look into it a bit more. From what I'm told, it comes from wood. Oil comes from wood. Wood is a carbon. That's why they call it a hydrocarbon. Fossil fuel was supposed to be from dinosaur remains or oil out of the dinosaurs. That may be mixed in with the wood because there's more trees than there was dinosaurs. So it may be part of it, but
I was having a conversation with one of my students when I was living in China, and he is an oil driller. An oil explorer. He operates out of Mongolia, Russia area border.
Yeah.
And he gave me an affidavit. And he stated that oil is abiotic, and it's produced from inside the earth, and it comes out continuously. And then once you or empty a well, you just have to wait like 4 or 5 years and come back, and the well is full again.
Oh, yeah, short as that. Okay, that's nice to know.
Yep.
There's
And
not-
I asked him why don't the government say something about it? And they said that the big oil corporations like BP and British Petroleum and Mobil and all that, they've got such a dominating market, psychological market.
Control.
It's a psychological warfare that they've put on people with this whole fossil fuel business. That even if the Chinese government came out and said oil is abiotic, nobody would believe them anyway. Yeah.
So it's abiotic.
Yep, it's abiotic.
Okay, I must look up that, see what it's talked about.
Yeah. And I actually knew this about 10 years ago. 10 years ago it was abiotic. And before the Chinese even told me, I was listening to a Russian guy on YouTube, of all places, before everything got censored, the golden days in 2006, 2007. They were talking about oil being abiotic.
Oh, okay.
And of course, look at OPEC. During 2003, 2004, they call it peak oil. I was looking at the OPEC websites, and they were slapping each other on the back, saying business has never been better. So scarcity. It's all about promoting scarcity to control the prices.
What's copper worth?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know about copper that much. I know that gold is also apparently, from talking to the miners in the Philippines, because I did actually spend quite a bit of time up in the mountains talking to different miners and looking at different operations and bore mills and all that. That I've been told that not as frequent as oil, but they said to me that gold grows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Interesting, that one.
What's the word? It oozes out of the ground. It comes up from fissures and sport up with hot water and steam into the quartz and that, and then the bigger the vein ends up being our nuggets, because it gets broken off and banged up. But when you see it in quartz, it's infused into the quartz. This lady has just come up to me and given me a large coin, and it says, it's quite thick. It says on it, "Freedom to flourish," and it's 1 ounce 999 fine copper. She said, "That's yours." She said it's pure copper. So I'm going to keep that.
Lovely. I'm a silver man myself. And looking at your photograph, the golden gumboots, gold panning lesson 20. I want that. I got a very good friend of mine who's an avid gold miner in the Philippines, and back in the day, he used to hang out with that Alan Bondy dude. Remember him?
Alan, I'm not sure.
Alan Bond.
That thing with me, gold mining. I won. Where the thing is it? I'm down under my van there. I can't show you. The camera's not working. I got this little lump of gold. It's in a pendant hanging around my neck. It's the 30th anniversary gold nugget. They had the gold panning contest. They had what they called stake your claim, and for $10 you got a big 6-inch nail and a paper plate with a number on it, and they had a grid pattern that was A to Z across this block of land, a small block of land, and you went and chose where you wanted to stake your claim. So I thought, way in the far corner, nobody's working the mine over there. I'll go and stake my claim over there. It might be a good spot. Anyhow, we came close to my one, but somebody else won it. And then we're down to about the fifth to last lot of envelopes, and my number come up virtually on the spot where I had it intersected. And they said, "What envelope you want, Karl?" And I looked at it, and it was either 15 or 17. I said, "Been a long time since I was that age. I'll take that one." and it was the gold nuggets.
Nice.
So I had it put on a chain.
Nice.
It says 30th anniversary one. So yeah, no,
Nice.
it's very simple.
I have edited an ebook called Treasure Hunting in the Philippines: A Beginner's Guide, and it's all about gold mining. It's all about gold mining, and it's written by a fella who was the right-hand man of Alan Bond, and they ran the gigantic super pit out of Australia back in the days. Yeah, so that's actually on my YouTube channel. It's actually in the popular videos. It's one of the more popular videos that I've got. His name is Waka Kelly. So we have a lot to do. I might consider that actually now because I'm in Vietnam and it's pretty much very similar geography to the Philippines. So I might dig a hole in my backyard. I've got about 1,000 square meters. You might find some big potholes in there soon.
Go and look for black sand. Look for black sand. If you find black sand, you'll find gold.
Awesome.
Usually.
And glass.
That's
Rosie.
really good. Yeah.
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
I think
we're at the 1 hour mark. Are we going to keep
we are.
Going for a little bit more? Because I just want to remind everyone too about the We Are Ready. The website is www.weareready.world. So, because I totally forgot to mention it earlier when Monica was on the show, but yeah, I'm kind of urging to be with my family now. So I think I'd like to wrap it up. If that's okay with you, Jason and Carl.
Yeah, wishing my condolences there, Rosie. Sorry about hearing. Was it your father? Was it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. What age was he?
He was 87.
Oh, that's a lovely age. Lovely age.
Truck driver and farmer, and definitely an inspiration for me joining the freedom movement.
Salt of the earth. Salt of the earth. Good on.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And today's show's dedicated to your pops.
Yeah.
My dad, Wilhelm.
Sorry, I didn't come on earlier. I forgot all about it and got involved with what's happening in Target today, and then I realised it was, I had trouble getting on.
There's no problem, Carl. I see you live on Facebook quite often. You're a busy guy, so I respect that so much about you.
Yeah,
just unstoppable.
It was probably better for Monica to tell her story of what was going on than me interrupting. So, yeah, I can go back and listen to what she had to say later on.
Yeah. It's
all right. I'm going to sign off there because I'm going to try and head out to Collingwood while it's still sunny and do some call on my traps on the way, and then go to this meeting at 6 o'clock.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, mate, for joining us. And hey, I'm going to have to help you make a Facebook page about all of this stuff, I think. Yep.
And by the 30th of May, we've got to make this thing. It's going to be knock the bastard off.
Yep. Okay. Knock the bastard off. I think that's a good name for a Facebook page. So I'll get.
We've knocked the bastard off.
Knocked the bastard off.
Yeah.
Was it Edmund? Sir Edward Hillary, right?
Yeah. Dedicated to Sir Edmund Hillary and his fortitude. He never gave up.
No.
And neither would we.
No, I never give up. Anybody that knows me, I never give up. I change my angle sometimes, but I never give up.
Yeah, change trajectory. So I'll contact you. I'll send you a message. I'll help you set up a Facebook page, so you can put all this information into one place, and as we go along.
Send a message or an email.
No, I'll just message you on Facebook.
I lose things on Facebook.
Well, that's why you can create a group so it can stay organized in one spot.
Yeah. Just a place.
I don't know if they're making it difficult for me or it's just there's so much coming in.
We'll give you a hand, mate. We'll give you a hand. Don't worry. We're good, and I'm on holiday for the next 3 months, so I'll help you out with it.
We'll get it done. Oh, see what I did there?
Come and join us over here. Come and join us over here.
It's I've received quite a few invitations to come down there. So and a good friend of mine from New Zealand, she told me if she wins the lottery, she's buying me a ticket to come down and visit. So
It's
Lottery ticket.
come down under.
I would
We live-
love to
We live in down under.
pick a kiwi fruit straight from the vine or bush, or how does it grow on a branch?
Which originally came from China, by the way. It's
Yeah,
like
it was
Chinese gooseberry.
Chinese gooseberry. Chinese gooseberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we market it.
We got one over on China.
Yeah. Now they're trying to
Yeah.
pinch it back again. Now they're trying to pinch it back again.
Well, it's great. It's
A
great.
lot
Like,
of information.
Yeah.
Chinese
Yeah.
gooseberries.
all
I'm
right,
gonna
mate. Thank
sign
you very
in.
much for joining us. We'll let you sign up. I'm gonna talk to the comment section and see what we got here. All right. So we got Big Dice. Andy Heinrich. Dragon Classy Diamond Art. Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
Lily Bing. Lily Bing. She's a returnee. So is Big Dice. We've got Wanda McLean.
Yeah.
Laurie Dawn.
Laurie Dawn's fantastic. I stayed at her place in Thunder Bay when I was coming back west.
And we got Barb Ziegler. She's
Barb
a returnee.
Yeah, she came out to Port Hope to meet me in person when I was in Ontario still. Super nice.
613. Canada, you need to know.
Yes.
I like that. Canada, you need to know.
Yeah, he's what? Canada, you need to know. He's a good guy. I like him. He's a good man.
Stop by to hit the like button. Thank you, Canada. You need to know. Tina Poon is there. Dickhead with Dave again. He's back.
Dickard.
And me, of course. Me. I must be an admin now or a moderator. My posts are going through. My comments are going through now.
Are they? Because apparently you didn't have a wrench, and later on in the chats here it says that if you refresh your page, you'll show it that it disappears. Your links that you posted. So I have to remember to make you a moderator. I can't do it while I'm on. It has to be before.
Okay. Well, they can just go to. You don't have a Facebook page, do you?
I do.
You do? Rosie Convoy Facebook page?
Rosie Convoy has a Facebook page.
Okay.
I mean, I have a Facebook page. Yeah, I do.
I'll send you the links and you can post them yourself. There's only 2 links there today. Hard Play, Big D. Let's go back. Hard Place, Ironic Frozen CO2. I guess he was talking about, yeah, that's dry ice. Selena McDonald, Big D. Okay, Selena McDonald says they used to have tankers going around from Marsden Point around the country as major ports delivering fuel. They used to. Now they get them from Asia. And by the sound of it, they're delivering them by truck now. Okay, Big D says millions for green car tires. Hello, all tires are made from oil. Yeah. They're the same freaking tires. They're not special. Yeah, exactly. Good night, Judy. Much love. That's Tina. And yep, heirloom. Selena McDonald says heirloom kiwi fruit grown on a vine. Well, that's the funny thing about kiwi fruit is that like literally the Chinese didn't like it and the Kiwis just loved it. Then the Kiwis modified it. And so we got that golden kiwi fruit. But now, we charge a Chinese asset. We charge back to the Chinese at a premium. So probably the only thing we've got up over the Chinese at this point in time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got a bunch of the land in New Zealand, but at least you guys have the
Yeah. 613 agrees with me. All right. Well, thank you very much. And Madame, you take your time out now for the rest of your day and do your thing. Give all my love to your family.
I will. And thank you everyone who tuned in, and thank you so much, Jason. You're a good man, and I'm privileged to know you and very honored to have you as my co-host. You're
thank you to Wilhelm for having such a lovely daughter.
Yeah, Gonna try not to cry here. I've kept it together. Oh. But sitting in his room here, surrounded by all the things he loved. Well, I put the flags up myself, but yeah, there's a lot of pictures around me. All right, I'm okay.
Okay.
Just breathe.
You got it.
Just
You
keep
got it.
on.
You got it.
Just keep on trucking, right, Rubber Ducky?
Keep on trucking. Honk, honk, honk. Teddy bear. Outro time.
Oh, Tommy Temper, you got here just in time. We're signing off.
Oh, yes.
But
Tommy Temper.
thanks for popping in, Tommy Temper. You'll have to rewatch it on my channel there. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and all the best to everybody, wherever you're from. If you're in Australia, and or if you're in New Zealand, or like you, Jason, in Vietnam, or yeah, or in any of my Canadian friends, whether you're on the East Coast or you're on the West Coast. This is just a big old international, big old family, and I'm very grateful for all of you for being a part of my life. So thank you so much, and yeah, we'll see you again soon. Don't forget to go out on Saturday, on May 20th. Don't forget to go and be a part of the We Are Ready events in your look it up on your local, see if your local town is registered. So I know
We are ready.world. Yeah, they've got a little section in there.
We are ready, one word, lowercase, .world, and should be able to zoom in on the world map and get right down to whatever city will be closest to you. So please do that. It's not a protest. It's a unity event. We just have to show up in numbers and just show that we are ready. So I might put it on a T-shirt. I might actually get my paints out and write "We are ready" on a T-shirt. That way I don't have to hold a sign or vocalize it. It'll be very apparent on a piece of clothing. So that's what I'll do. So yeah, the one in Kelowna is at City Hall. So I'm pretty sure it'll be at your local city hall. So just look it up. Click on the little location, little red dot with a, or the little upside down teardrop. Like, what do you call it? A locator. You click on that, and it'll tell you the address of where it's been registered for. So please, let's show up in numbers. Please, let's do this. I'm looking forward to being a part of a global movement this Saturday, May 20th. So on that note, Jason, you're the best. I hope you have a really great rest of your day. And
I will sweating my pants off in Vietnam.
It's nice and cool here now, but there's a thunderstorm warning, so it should get pretty humid here pretty quick. But thank you everyone for being here. We'll see you again next time, all right? Take care.
Goodbye, everybody. Don't forget, State of the Nation. Rosie Convoy.
Am I in Ottawa Saturday? No, I'm in Western Canada now. I'm in British Columbia. Okay, guys. Love you all. Hug your loved ones. And if your parents are around still, go give them hugs. Or phone them. Just tell your folks you love them. Tell everyone you love them. Do it often. You never know what's coming. So on that cheerful note, just love each other, guys. All right. Talk to you soon.